I was 17 when it happened. A storm of memories still brews in the folds of my mind, and no amount of logic or science has managed to untangle it. It was late October, the kind of damp evening where the air smells like rust and fallen leaves. I had just finished cram school and was walking alone down an unlit residential street in Gifu. The moon was veiled in thin cloud, and every few steps my shoes crunched on gravel. The houses around me were sleeping, curtains drawn tight. A single street lamp ahead flickered, its broken hum pulsed like a failing heart. That's when I saw her. She stood unnaturally still beneath that dying light, tall, slender, dressed in a long red coat. A white surgical mask hid the lower half of her face, which, during flu season, was not unusual, but there was something off. Her posture was too erect, her chin slightly tilted, like a puppet awaiting a cue. She hadn't moved a muscle. As someone studying behavioral psychology, I've trained myself to detect incongruities, micro-expressions, posture shifts, breathing patterns. This woman radiated wrongness. Still, my upbringing demanded politeness. So when she stepped slowly into my path, I halted. She glided into the flickering light, long jet-black hair draping her shoulders like silk curtains. Her skin was porcelain pale, but it was her eyes that stopped me. Huge, glassy, unblinking, like those of a predator or a corpse. Then, in a soft, almost musical voice, she asked, "Watashi, kirei, am I pretty?" Her tone was sing-song, childlike, yet reverberated with an eerie resonance that triggered something primal in me. It wasn't just the question, it was the timing, the intonation. There was a curious break before the word kirei, as if savoring the syllable. I froze. My linguistic instincts noticed her pitch had dropped slightly, the way someone's does when masking rage. I forced a weak smile and replied, yes, you're very pretty." The eyes narrowed, and I knew something terrible was coming. She raised her hand, slim fingers with chipped black nails, and slowly peeled away her surgical mask. The horror beneath was unspeakable. Her mouth, no, what remained of it, was sliced open from ear to ear. The flesh was jagged, like a botched surgical experiment. I could see her molars, exposed and glinting, framed by torn muscle and dried blood. The scent hit me then, a mix of copper and rot. "Koredemo?" she whispered. "How about now?" Her voice was still sing-song, but now tinted with something guttural, sadistic. She leaned forward, too close. My body screamed for action, but my legs betrayed me. I stood, staring, breath shallow. There was no doubt anymore. I was face to face with the Kuchisake-Onna, the slit-mouthed woman from every childhood urban legend. I recalled the folklore. If you said no, she'd cut you. If you said yes, she'd mimic your beauty by mutilating you the same way. I was supposed to be smart. I'd studied deception detection, persuasion tactics, but nothing in my books had prepared me for this. Still, somewhere deep in the linguist part of my brain, a desperate idea surfaced. Ambiguity, disruption. "You look average," I said. She blinked. Her expression faltered, just slightly. That was enough. I spun on my heel and ran. Behind me came a screech, not entirely human. It was distorted, like a corrupted audio file. "Am I pretty?" she shrieked, again and again. I could hear her movement, not footsteps, but something faster, like she skimmed above the ground. I don't remember breathing. I remember only the blur of light and pavement, and the sense that the air behind me was collapsing inwards. I burst into the glowing interior of a convenience store, nearly knocking over a stand of bento boxes. The startled clerk looked up. I was gasping, drenched in sweat. I turned. Through the fogged window, I saw nothing but the empty street. But that wasn't the end. That night, I lay awake, every muscle tensed. At 3:12 a.m., I heard it. Tap, tap, tap on the glass. I jolted upright, heart hammering. I summoned every ounce of courage and tiptoed to the window. No one. Just the wind rustling the trees. But the next morning, something new was there, pressed against the outside of the glass, a faint smear of red, a half moon of bloody lip print. I didn't tell anyone. It's been years. I now study criminal psychology at university. I've helped profile serial predators, deconstruct psychotic linguistics in interrogation tapes. But nothing has ever disturbed me as deeply as her voice asking that question. Not what she asked, but how she asked it. Because that night I realized, the most dangerous monsters aren't the ones who look terrifying. They're the ones who ask politely.